My name is Nicholas Kane. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about pollution, specifically how pollution created by us affects the environment and other creatures living in the environment. Now, while I was doing research for this topic, I came across a TED Talk by a man named Captain Charles Moore, in which he used the term which I think perfectly describes our society nowadays. He said, we are a throwaway society. Now, if you don't know what that means, it means that we manufacture, consume, and throw away so many products with nowhere to put them. And we are essentially a waste machine. We build to throw away. Now, every day I see people throw away things that they shouldn't be, things that can be recycled, like plastic, like paper, glass, anything you can think of. And the reason that they do this is because they have the mindset of, it's just me doing it this one time, it's not going to make a difference. And they're right, because just them isn't going to make a difference. But the problem is that a lot of people have this mindset and a lot of people don't recycle. In 2013, the U.S. Census Bureau found that there were approximately 315 million people living in the U.S. The Environmental Protection Agency found that during that year, in America alone, we produced around 254 million tons of trash. Of that material, we recycled and composted approximately 87 million tons. That gives us a recycle rate of less than 35% just for us, just in 2013. Since then, America has seen a population growth of 12 million people. The global population now in 2018 is just under 7.5 billion. That is a lot of people to produce trash. If just 315 million produced 254 million tons, imagine how many millions of tons of trash is being produced by 7.5 billion people. In 2016, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration found that approximately 1.4 billion pounds of trash makes its way into the oceans each year. Of that trash that makes its way into the oceans, a large portion of it becomes pulled into what's called a gyre. Now, if you don't know what a gyre is, it's essentially like a hurricane. It pulls things in, but it has a calm center, so when things get sucked in, they can't get back out. So imagine you're off the coast of California in a dinghy, just in the water. You're having to throw a soda can out into the water. That soda can become pulled into a gyre and become part of what is called a garbage patch, which is where all the trash that gets pulled into the gyres accumulates. Now, there are a lot of garbage patches because there are a lot of gyres, but the one that I'm going to be talking about, and the largest one, is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, discovered by Captain Charles Moore in 2003. In an interview that same year with National Geographic, Moore said, "As I gazed out at what ought to have been pristine ocean, I was confronted with plastic as far as the eye could see. In the week it took to cross, no matter what time of day I looked, plastic debris was floating everywhere." Let that sink in for a moment. It took a week to cross, and during that time, there was trash everywhere. I'm sure a lot of you know about the BP oil spill of 2010. Now, that might sound a little strange because we were just talking about it a couple years ago in 2015. That's because it happened in 2010. The court proceedings didn't end until 2015. That's how long it took to settle the case. For those of you not too familiar with the events that happened, basically the Macondo well experienced an uncontrolled well event which destroyed the oil rig, the Deepwater Horizon, and the BP oil pipe under the water. It took 87 days to stop the oil from flowing into the ocean, and during that time, around 3.19 million barrels of oil was spilled into the ocean. That's over 130 million gallons. So what caused it? In the official court case, which can be found in the description of this video, the U.S. courts charged BP with gross negligence and willful misconduct that was including, but not limited to, a disregard for federal regulations and industry standards, and a failure to use the best and safest equipment available. Why did they do this? To save money. Turns out it didn't save them money. It cost them over $14 billion. So what effects did it have? Before I go into that, I'm going to have to give you a little context. So before this event, which happened in 2010, the years leading up to it, 2002 to 2009, there was an average of 63 dolphin deaths in that area per year. 7 months after the event, there were 125 deaths. In the year 2011, there were 335 total deaths since the event. Fish in the area were found belly up, dead in the water, covered in brown sludge and legions. Seabirds were covered in oil. Now that might not sound like a big problem because what's a little oil? It's going to do a lot to those seabirds because even a little bit hinders their ability to fly and swim, which is how they move and get food. I don't expect to change the world with this speech. I just wanted to raise awareness for this problem. And I don't expect many to see this problem as an issue that's relevant for this generation or the next one or even the one after that, because we can't see our garbage. It's always moved away from us because it's unseemly, because no one wants to look at that heaping pile of trash, out of sight, out of mind. But it's not out of sight, because every day I pass litter on the roads. And I took these pictures just the other day, last Saturday when I was coming home. It took me about a minute to get out of my car, take these pictures, and get back in my car. I think everyone in the audience can relate to this. Everyone has been driving and seen loads of trash on the side of the road. I know that we can't stop making so much trash because this is what our society has become, but we can reduce how much we make, and we can start recycling more to reduce the amount of trash that actually goes into a landfill. With each passing year, the global population grows a lot. That's a lot of people to produce trash. And we need to slow it down, because this is the only habitable planet that we know of. We can't move when it's just covered in trash. If you've seen WALL-E, then you know what I'm talking about. So what can we do? We can stop buying one-use, throwaway items like plastic cups, straws, paper plates. We can start recycling, and we can stop littering, because this is on our roads. This is everywhere. We have designated areas to put our trash, like our trash cans, and then those go to areas, landfills, where we dump all of our trash. The least we can do is make sure that our trash gets to where it needs to go and doesn't start showing up in our environment. If you still don't think that this is a problem, please take the 2 minutes, just 2 minutes out of your day to watch this video, which I will provide the link in the description, where these researchers found a sea turtle with a plastic straw stuck in its nose. I didn't know that turtles could make noise at all, let alone the ones that this one made. And if you care about animals at all, you'll watch this, and you'll see how our trash affects other organisms. I just wanted to raise awareness for this speech. I wanted to show my audience that this is a problem that needs to be addressed, and I hope I've done that. Thank you.